open to the highest bidder.
Should be.
Well, hello there. Hi, welcome to Advanced Monday Afternoon Live Stream. I'm Peter, and I'm joined this week by David. Hello, David.
Hello, Peter. It's wonderful to be here. It's so glad to be on the live stream with you guys.
It's great to have you guys with us once again for some practicing of your English. And as always, we are pivoting off of an article in your monthly Advanced magazine for February here. We have an interesting article for you this week that we are using, and it is called Who Owns the Bones?
Who owns the bones? Steve said that he likes today's topic, and I guess he's going to learn some good stuff about how to manage his money. I thought maybe he was saying he likes dinosaur bones, but I think he means he likes...
Yeah, no. The article is about dinosaur bones and whether they should be available for simply whoever has the most money, or if they should be given to museums or educational institutions so that all of society can learn about them. In the article, you read about this hedge fund billionaire who bought actual dinosaur bones so they could have them in his private lounge or something. And, you know, there's a question there as to whether that's making the best use of them. So we thought, however, that thinking about money and how to spend it, let's talk about personal finance today. Indeed. So that is our topic for today. As you can see, the poll question is there for you already. How do you feel about managing your money? I really get into it, or it's a chore like any other, it's a task, you have to do it, it's neither here nor there. I prefer that someone else do it for me. I'm not good with numbers, I get nervous thinking about money, get someone else to do it. Or I rob a bank when I need money, you know, no problem. Money management, got your money management right here.
Hey, you got some money management right here. If you can drive a getaway car, then you don't have to worry about personal management.
Exactly. It's all about driving and getting good eyes on the road. David, how do you feel about managing your money?
Oh, you know, it is a bit of a chore, I think, but it's a chore that has a very good payoff. Like, for example, cleaning the toilet is not exactly fun, but if you don't clean your toilet, you know, you're not going to be living a very
You're going to have
even
less fun.
You're going to have even less fun, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like after you do it and then you don't have to do it again. Maybe, you know, you get your paycheck, you plan it out, you pay your bills, you put some away, and then you're just like, oh, okay, now that's done. Now I can just sort of go on the system that I've established and not go outside my budget. Then it's okay.
Yeah.
Agatha's first thought for personal finance is something about banking.
Hey, Agatha. Hello to you, and hello, JJ. Nice to have you with us. Agatha, my first thought for personal finance is something about banking, yes. And Steve, speaking of dinosaurs, Jurassic World is going to release the 7th movie. And last year I saved my money, tying in both topics here, very good,
nice,
Steve,
nice,
to buy Jurassic World cars from Matchbox, such as Ford, General Motors, and Mercedes. Way to go, Steve.
Yeah.
And David Lynn. Hello, David Lynn.
How you doing?
My lesson learned is not to have my wife to manage my money. Okay, well, see, we can learn all kinds of things from money management. But most of all, today we're going to help you learn some vocabulary, some kind of big words here. You know, they tend to get big when we're talking about money and managing things, but not too big. And these are words that that have some meaning outside of talking about money management. So they're not like just technical terms that we just looked up 5 minutes ago and now we're throwing them at you. These are terms that all of us will encounter sooner or later in managing our money and in some other contexts as well. So let's get right to them. Our first word for you, deductible.
Deductible.
Deductible. D-E-D-U-C-T-I-B-L-E, deductible. David, what does deductible mean?
Well, I think it has a few different ways that it could be used, but the way I often hear it used, like with Tone talking about insurance, right, is it's the amount of money that you pay before the insurance kicks in.
Right, exactly.
Right?
A deductible is any amount that is taken away from a total larger amount. You deduct this amount, and in the case of insurance, you pay a deductible first, and then they pay the rest of it, as in the case of health insurance.
Speaking of health,
what do we got here?
Practice Noob says that money is always an issue for people, and he or she just hopes to spend the last dollar of money before they are buried in the ground.
Yeah.
LOL.
Still, there's a book out there called Die Broke. It's about maybe actually 20 years ago now, but a book that encouraged you and taught you how to spend or give away all your money before you die, so that, at least in the United States, your children, if you have any, do not get burdened with all kinds of taxes and procedures they have to go through because they inherited money from you. Now that's a big, big topic, of course, right there.
Indeed.
There's nothing wrong with passing on money or wealth to your children, inheritance, that's all fine. But it was an interesting perspective to take. That was just the title of the book, Die Broke.
Yeah.
So basically they would say, you know, you want to give your kids something, spend money on them while they're alive. You know, you die broke. Anyway, a thought for another time. Let's give you another word kind of related to that. Another one, longish word, so hang on. Beneficiary.
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 And David, what is a beneficiary?
Well, you were just talking about inheritance, right? And a beneficiary is just the person who receives the benefit of something that you do.
Right, exactly.
For example, the people who will inherit the money that you leave behind after you die. If you don't spend your last dollar before going in the ground, then they would be the beneficiaries of the inheritance.
Right, and when you draw up a will, a last will and testament to make it clear legally who gets what when you pass on, you would name a beneficiary. Or even when you're buying a life insurance policy, you would name a beneficiary of who gets paid by the insurance company in the event that you die. God forbid. But that's what the term means, a beneficiary. Important term to know in personal money management. Steve, sometimes when I'm thinking about saving money, I divide it into two categories. Like one for buying favorite collectibles. Know you love the collectibles, Steve. And the others are for future use, such as open a small business for myself. Maybe a small business about collectibles.
Hey,
Steve? Let us know.
Keep
us informed.
I'll stop at that store.
Yeah, definitely. What does Agatha say?
Agatha says, as far as I know, some banks have the minimum amount requirement for them to manage your money. For example, $100,000 in a bank for them to invest for you.
Right.
Oh, yeah, okay. So you have to have a certain amount of money in the bank before they'll be willing to manage the money for you.
Right.
You used to work at a bank, didn't you?
I did work. I worked at a bank that dealt with very rich people and with companies. I was an assistant to help devise investment products for those multinational corporations to invest their money in. I was basically just a glorified secretary. I don't have a financial background. You all know about me. I was an actor. You know, this was just a day job. I was trying to pay the bills, and it just happened to be in a asset management company. But yeah, that's all I've got. Joshing, hello Joshing, good to see you. Just be frugal. Joshing, good word there, good advice. Frugal, meaning very careful with your money.
That's right.
Don't indulge, don't spend more than you really need to. Live simply, be frugal with your money. Hopefully not ungenerous with your money in terms of helping out other people who may need it more than you, but certainly in terms of spending on yourself, be frugal. Good advice, Joshing.
That's right.
Let's give you one more vocab word, and then we've got another discussion question for you. Let's go here. Oh, here's a good one. Liability.
Liability.
Liability, because this is one that also has meaning outside of a financial context. What does it mean? Liability is the noun. What does it mean just to be liable?
If you're liable for something, it means you are responsible for it.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So we talk about financial liabilities as things that you are responsible for taking care of.
Right. Like a debt.
Yes.
If you owe money on your credit card, that is a liability when you are looking at your overall financial picture. It's something you're responsible for. Also, outside of finance, a liability means it's used to mean something that could mean trouble for you,
right,
in some way. You know, I'd like to learn how to be a tightrope walker in the circus, but I do have this liability of being blind.
Right, that's quite a liability.
So that could be a liability, something that could make trouble for me in that context. It's just a silly example there. Blind people can become tightrope walkers, but just to give you a simple example, liability. And so financially, liability is something that usually means a debt, something you owe, Or again, you could even say that for a parent, a child is a liability.
Yes.
In a financial sense, in that the parent is responsible for the child.
Right. And then in the other sense, if you bring your 4-year-old into a store that sells really expensive glass collectibles.
Good example.
That child is a liability.
Yes.
They're very likely to cost you a lot of money.
Yes, they may soon be a severe financial liability for you. Steve, my auntie used to work at a bank, and she taught me I have to learn how to save money in the right way and learn how not to get scammed by scammers. Yes, who wants my money? I know someone, close personal friend of mine got scammed recently. It's out there, it happens, got to be careful.
And the scammers are always finding new ways to scam you. And Selena says, make a balance sheet, another very good way to keep track of your finances. Agatha, that is a very good point. I agree with you. Steve made a very good point.
Yes, and Selena, asset and liability, yes, often go together. Your asset, we don't have that as a vocab word today, but since you brought it up, an asset is something of value, something that you have, and in determining your overall financial picture, your overall financial health, you compare on a balance sheet your assets and your liabilities. That gives you a sense of our next vocab word, whether you are solvent.
Solvent.
S-O-L-V-E-N-T, solvent.
Solvent.
And what does solvent mean?
A solvent is when you mix, no, that's in chemistry. No.
Solution.
Solution and solvent. No.
Solvent also does have a meaning in chemistry. He's
it does, yeah. But a solvent in financial terms, if you're a solvent, it means that you're able to pay all of your debts.
Right. Your liabilities do not outweigh your assets.
That's right.
Basically.
And really good anti-scammer advice from Agatha. Don't pick up strange incoming calls, then delete strange texts. If you get a call from someone that you don't know and they're trying to get you to sign up for a loan or something, the quickest way to get them off the phone is to just say, I'm sorry, do you speak English? And then they'll say, sorry, and then they will hang up. This works for me all the time. I don't know if it works for you.
Yes,
just pretend like you don't speak Chinese.
Yeah.
And then they hang up.
I use the reverse trick for when I get called by a Chinese suspicious person. I say, do you speak English? And boom.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
So just ask if they speak the language other than what they're speaking
and
they'll go look for an easier mark. Anyway, just wanted to give you another discussion question, but you guys, you're sharp as always. You've anticipated our question. The other discussion question for today is, what advice would you give for good money management? You guys are already filling us up with advice here, so thanks for that. Keep it coming, even as we're talking here. David, how about a piece of financial advice from Teacher David?
Oh, I think it's just always good to live a little bit below your means.
Like Joshing says.
Yeah, like Joshing says, exactly. Like, for example, you don't want to do what Practice Noob used to do. He used to squander all his salary every month, but now he tries to be economical in his spending. It's very good to look at how much you are able to spend and then live below that so that you have some kind of like a cushion. In case an emergency happens, you won't be broke and unable to manage it. Frugal
living, maybe semi-frugal living. Frugality can be taken too far in the other direction, where you're just sort of starving yourself almost financially. It's okay to spend a little money sometimes on that ice cream soda or the new audio video piece of equipment or something like that. But as long as those are just occasional sort of things that you do for yourself or for someone else, then you're probably in a better situation.
That's right.
Okay, let's give you a few more vocab words. We're going low on time as always, but let's give you a few more vocab words here. Collateral. Here's a good one.
Collateral.
C-O-L-L-A-T-E-R-A-L. Collateral. Collateral, David. How would you define that?
Collateral is like something valuable that someone gives in exchange for a loan, like to guarantee that they're going to pay it back. For example, another situation where you could use this is you go to the 7-Eleven, you get your coffee, you realize, you forgot to bring your wallet, right? And you're like, oh, let me go and get my wallet, but here, I'll pay for this. Here, why don't you hold on to my yo-yo ka, and then I'll come back for this, and then I'll pay you for the coffee, right?
The exact thing happened to me just last week.
Oh.
I went to a restaurant, got my lunch. Just as I finished eating, realized I had no cash. So I went, fortunately, it was a place I go to often and they knew me. But nevertheless, I said, I need to go get cash. So I gave them my ARC card, in fact, as collateral to show that I was coming back because I was giving them something of value so that they could trust me. And, they know me. I probably didn't even need to do that. But you want to sort of go the extra mile sometimes.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, next time I'll just reach for my yo-yo card.
Just reach for something like that.
Yeah, something a little...
less valuable.
Not quite so valuable.
Oh, okay, so...
Steve says, some bankers told me to sign up for a credit card membership. Okay. I'm thinking using a credit card could be trouble because if you drop nowhere or drop somewhere, I think, if you drop it somewhere, if you lose it, someone will pick it up and spend my money.
Possibly.
Yeah, it's a risk with a credit card. Credit card do have benefits too, though, so consider them both when you're thinking about them. But yeah, they are a responsibility. Practice new, Bello. I use my apartment as collateral to apply for loans. Perfect example.
Perfect example, yeah.
Collateral. And Agatha, set a goal for saving, then open a certificate of deposit. When you hit the saving goal, right? And a certificate of deposit, I think that's like a savings account that you earn higher interest on than a normal savings account, and it's because it's for a limited period of time.
Yeah, I'm about ready to hire Agatha as my financial advisor.
We need to have you on the show next time we talk about finance. You and Steve both, I think.
Bring you to the bank next time.
Yeah. Okay, well, like I said, we are just about done here. Let's give you one more vocab word, and here's a good one. Default.
Default.
D-E-F-A-U-L-T has a financial meaning, has a meaning outside of finance. David, what's the financial meaning of default?
It means, is it default or default?
It can be either.
Oh.
It can be either default or default.
Okay. All right, well, it basically means that you have failed to pay your loans or meet a financial obligation, and there's kind of like no way for you to do it. And it can really, really hurt your credit. Yes, it can hurt your credit. It may even lead to one more vocab word. As I lose my voice here, one more vocab word. Foreclosure. That's right. F-O-R-E-C-L-O-S-U-R-E, foreclosure. That's when, just to use one example, the bank has loaned you money to buy a house and you default on the loan. You're unable to pay it back. They will come and take your house. They will, push you out of it and give it to someone else or sell it or something. They will foreclose on your house because you defaulted on the loan. Hopefully that doesn't ever happen because you've got good English and you've got financial smarts that you're picking up here from each other as well as participating in the live stream. Any last words, David? I think we're done for today. Jayo, my friends. Don't worry.
Yeah.
It's, money grows wings and flies away, but there are deeper things to live for in this world.
Amen to that. Thank you so much for joining us this week. That is all we have time for. Steve, thank you as always. And Practice Noob and Agatha and Selena, thank you all for chiming in, thinking about personal finance and thinking about English, practicing English. Join us next week. We'll be back for another episode of Advanced Livestream. We'll have another topic for you to discuss. Meanwhile, keep reading your Advanced magazine. You can hear us discuss the articles through the videos on the website, the recordings, and practice that English. Have a good day, everyone. We'll see you next time.
See you later.
So what's the combination on this?